Hi, we are here to discuss about the group video presentation for me myself as Prabha Neopane and my friend Koteshwar Rao Bamala are going to present the research topics. And the title of the topic is Learning Real-Time A-Star Path Planner for Unmanned Air Vehicle Target Sensing and KNN LRTA Simple Subgoaling for Real-Time Search. This is the research topic given by our professor, Dr. David Dye. And here I'm going to start my first topic, that is learning real-time A-Star Path Planner for Unmanned Air Vehicle Target Sensing. So I'm going to start my presentation. So what it mainly does that it demonstrates a path planner for sensing the closely spaced target from an unmanned air vehicle. And the path planner is based on LTRA, learning real-time A-star search algorithms. And the main target of it is to produce dynamically physical paths that accomplish the sensing objective around it in the shortest possible distance. And it produces the short distance path in short running times. If the path are widely spaced, then it produces the good path. But if they are in the closely spaced position, then we need to overcome the difficulties. So as we know, there is a great necessity for the path planning in every autonomous vehicle, as the ancient path planning approaches are not well suited for the producing paths. So the main objectives of the path planning in autonomous vehicle is to produce the path planning method through the sensor footprint and minimizing the path length for all targets. And the main problem of the focus is that since if the paths are widely spaced, then the path produce the good objectives with dynamically constrained. And if the path are closely spaced, then there we find the problem of the coupling between the path segments. Thus, the targets our three targets with three identical technical challenges must be addressed, which includes the coupling between path segments, utilization of sensor footprint, and the determination of being order of the targets. And for multiple targets, the process includes an optimal path from the starting point to the first target, from the first target to the second one, and similarly followed in a manner that all the targets are reached. And it succeeds when the targets are widely spaced, like I talked before. If the targets are widely spaced, then it is succeeded. And in case of the closely spaced target, it results in the worst outcome due to the coupling between the path segments. The figure shows that the coupling between the path segments. Figure A shows the point-to-point optimal path plan, and the figure B shows the optimal multi-target path plan. And another topic is the path shortening benefit of properly utilized sensor footprint. So the effective path planning procedure for viewing closely spaced targets from an unmanned air vehicle requires the following criteria that are optimal planning or near to it, with the help of the multiple targets for overcoming the coupling between the segments. And then another is the utilization of the sensor footprint for viewing the targets, and another is to address the order of the targets with minimum length pairs. And the figure shows the path shortening benefit of properly utilized sensor. So the paper briefly discusses about the different researcher work they done for the real-time search algorithm. So The development of the path planner in using learning real-time search algorithms, which accommodates sensor footprints, geometry, and the targeted goals. And the Salva developed an algorithm for finding the optimal solution to overcome the traveling salesman problem for a Dubin's vehicle. A hybrid A-star automatic approach to online path planning has been shown by Richard Yang and Kapila simulate the multiple target path planning concept with the help of Dubin's path and vector calculus. Cavani and Hedrick find the solution of closely spaced target problems. Frazzoli developed a real-time randomized path planning algorithm that maintains the dynamic constraint of the vehicle. Likewise, many people try to demonstrate the proper path planning algorithms. And here it is described about the MILP methods, which are used to address the problems of the task assignment and path planning. So the real-time heuristic search is the basis for many path planning and intelligent search algorithm for many researchers. And another topic is Descript step paths. So what is the Descript step paths? It is the path that provides the ability for utilizing the full capability of the vehicle sensors, and thus satisfying the dynamic constraint on the vehicle. And they are invented by assembling the primitive turn and straight segments such that the choice of primitive at each step is driven not by getting points from A and B, but instead by meeting the set of specific objectives for the path. So the figure shows the primitive turn and straight segments assembled to form a tree of heuristic. Thus, they are invented by assembling the primitive turn and straight segments such that choice of primitive at each step is driven not by getting points from A and B, but instead by getting the set of specific objectives for the path. Another topic is the configuration of child node. So from the figure, we can see that the notation for the path planning problem and the geometry of the nodes in the path tree. LRTA tree search algorithm. It uses the LRTA strict algorithm in such a way that it accomplishes the desired path planning objectives for a branch of the defined path, and it can be applied to the type of old like grid, tree, directed graph, or other. And LRTA, it is one of the faster ASTRIC algorithm, and by using this, execution speed is sacrificed to reduce the spatial complexity of the search. Initial heuristic. So for this, the first, our primary requirement of LRTA search is that HI is less than or equal to HI asterisk for every true node I. And also we can see the simple aspect of it, that if a node on the ideal path overestimates the distance to the target, then the search may never reach that node and hence never identify the best path. So we need to set the heuristic to 0, but the search takes too much time to find the optimal path. So the easiest way for calculating heuristic is to use the distance to the farthest target as the initial heuristic value. And another topic is the terminating condition. It directly impacts the speed and path length performance of the tree search. The minimum length path can be found by running the search until the heuristic change reaches 0, and the process can be lengthy. The search on the other part continues until a maximum running limit time is reached, and we can also combine the two conditions for creating the improves the continual path length, for improving the continual path length. The figure describes the sample paths generated by the LRTA strict and NILRTA strict algorithm. And the another figure, we can see that the two-step look-back tree structure. Previous two moves limit possible next moves. Another is the path tree size. A problem which is encountered with searching the path tree is the size of the tree. The size of the tree is inversely proportional to the step size. That is that if the size of the tree decreases, then the step size increases. So it is one of the lengthy process, and one of the method which can be to prune out the branches that switch direction for decreasing the size of the tree. And another method can be the limiting the depth of the tree before the search is ever begun. So the LTRA asterisk algorithm advantages is that additional goals and constraint can easily be imposed on the path. Step size calculation. LTRA strict free search is used to calculate the minimum path from the discrete step path tree. And one of the major aspects for making the LTRA strict tree search perform better is to choose a step size that is both limit enough to best approximate the optimum path, but not used to search quickly. Hence, this concept will help to reduce the computation complexity by limiting the size of the tree. Testing and comparison. So in the paper, it is tested on the 2000 target scenario. In 2000 target scenario, in each and every target, they included 3 randomly selected targets and a random initial position and heading for the vehicle. And the step size used for the path tree influences the running time and the path length performance for LTRA strict tree search algorithms, which shows that increasing it reduces the running time of the algorithm. And the LTRA tree search validation, which can be shown in the figure 2. So it is demonstrated by making a comparison between the path generated by the LTRA algorithm and Dubin's path, which we discussed earlier. And the figure path length, and for the path length, the figure shows the path length performance of 2 algorithms, that such that the amount of time spent between 0.2 and 0.4 is just 6.8%, indicating that the smaller step size are becoming less beneficial, which we can see in the figure also. And another figure demonstrate the running times and the differing number of targets. So at last, I'd like to conclude that the research work prepared by the researcher tells us about the LTRA asterisk and NILTRA asterisk search algorithm, which identify the branch of from the district step root tree along with the desired goal of the paths. And the LTRA search algorithm is 100% accurate, or we can guarantee that it is able to find the minimum path length, although it is time consuming. And both the LTRA and NILTRA helps to find the optimal path or near to the optimal path with the help of the multiple targets, thus overcoming the effects of the coupling between the path segments, which can be encountered while the paths are closely spaced. So it both makes the use of the sensor footprint also to view target and eliminate the need to fly over them. They also determine the ideal viewing sequence as part of the planning phase. So our next topic is KNN LTRA strict simple subgoaling for real-time search. To present this, I would like to introduce my friend Koteshwar for telling about the second topic.
Thank you, Nupen. Myself, Koteshwara Pomala, and I'm going to explain the second paper, that is KNNLRTA star, simple subgoaling for real-time search. And let's start with the introduction that artificial intelligence control agents in video games must react quickly to players' commands and to other agents' actions. And a typical issue in computer games is to scale up to large maps and massive number of simultaneously acting agents. And the circumstance changed as of late with another calculation, that is DLRTA star. And with this, a common problem in video games is searching for a path between two locations. And also, and the next one, the real-time heuristic search algorithms are added with this limit range of applicable heuristic search algorithms. The next slide. Yes, the real-time search addresses the problem in a fundamentally different way. Like instead of computing a complete possibly abstract solution before that is the first action is to be taken, and the main ongoing heuristic search inquiry calculation is to look ahead depth path around the agent current state and using a heuristic function, an estimate of the remaining travel cost to collect the to collect to collect the evaluation to collect the and evaluation the new algorithm. And the learning process has precluded to obtain a real-time heuristic research algorithms. And the other one is sub-goal database construction. The most memory consuming part of DLRTA star search construction is our motivation is to retain a D star DLRTA star an excellent performance, and first abstracts the map using the database, and the DLRTA star first abstracts the map using the clinic abstraction. And once the abstraction is complete, a ground level the closest to the centroid, that is a ground level state close to the centroid of the clinic, is chosen as the representative for the abstract state. And the DLRTA star is code in non-trivial as one has to build the clinic abstraction. And furthermore, because multi-level and ground level representatives corresponding to abstract goal state and trace the path from the ground level representatives. And furthermore, the multi-level abstraction is used in practice. The code has to be implemented for general graphs as opposed to rectangular grids. The figures within the figure shows like the algorithms, the simplest and the fastest version of real-time search algorithms, with that is LRTA star with a look ahead of in the figure. Such mentions is, and the next slide explain. So go to the last back slide. The real-time search. Yes, the real-time search explains the computing a sub-goal for every pair of states is intractable for non-trivial map. And in this picture, we have to see this one widely used to set a simple mechanism of runtime generalization is K, which is the nearest neighbors that the idea lies within finding the K closest cases to the problem. And we apply this approach for sub-goal selection and for simplicity set like K equals to 1. And once the agent locates the database record must similar to its current location and which proceeds towards it using the standard LRTA star. The next one is the empirical evaluation. The empirical evaluation is explains on each map. In this map we used 8 maps for popular video games, that is the timings are reported for it and the code to geocomputers. On each map we ran 128 different pathfinding problem instances with the start and goal locations. The pathfinding algorithms used in this are the searches on each heuristic as the title distance as the heuristics, and they were tested with several different parameterizations. So for DLR and for DLRTA star abstraction levels, And for KNN LRTA star sub-goal database sizes, that is N is subtracts to the 3, 5, 6, 7 like that were used, and the parameters of M and D were set to 25 and 3 respectively. And let's go to the conclusion for this. And the new calculation KNN LRTA star offers a clear advantages. That is, the primary drive behind this work was to develop a new high performance real time search algorithms, which is suitable for pathfinding in video games. And all things are considered, a deterrent mindful comparability metric out to be explored. And as of future work, we believe that KNN LRTA offers clear benefits for pathfinding applications in video games. And at last, I present the calculation searches. It, our similarity metric does not obstacles into account. So these adverse side effects it entails are mitigated by requiring a hill climbing reachable searches. And within this, the single closest neighbor, which is k equals to 1, consolidating a sub-goal that selects a valid map scale closest to the weighted average of the k sub-goals. So this is the second part. New pen, I have completed my second part.
Okay,
And
so we
search.
described the both parts and
Thank
we're
you for
now
giving this.
concluding the video presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.